Well, good afternoon, and thank you for coming. My name is Matthew Boulay. I am the interim CEO of the National Summer Learning Association. As many of you know, the association is the nation's leading organization working to ensure that every child is safe, healthy, and engaged in learning during the summer. Our briefing today will address issues around summer learning loss and its relevance to the nation's broader education reform agenda. And our message is very simple and clear. If you want to close the achievement gap, if you want to promote student learning so that American students can compete in the 21st century, then we as a nation need to deal with the reality of summer learning loss. I want to begin by thanking the Walmart Foundation for its support of this brief and for its broader support of Summer Learning Day activities around the country. 1 week from today, June 21st, the first day of summer, is Summer Learning Day. It's a celebration of the programs around the country that are engaging students all summer long. I also want to thank Senator Lugar, Senator Murray, and Congressman Payne for sponsoring this briefing. They're champions of summer learning, and we need to recognize their leadership. Your packet includes a letter from Senator Lugar, and we should thank their staff, particularly Connor Burns in Senator Lugar's office, Maura Dugan in Senator Murray's office, and Tia T-Boot in Congressman Payne's office. And I also want to thank the staff of the National Summer Learning Association for their hard work creating this event, particularly Bob Seidel, Ryan Rybarczyk, and Kate Shatskin. I dare say that the staff of the National Summer Learning Association knows more about this issue and the ways to research it, implement it, fund it, and really combat summer learning loss than any other group in the country. And as this issue gains prominence, I invite you guys to get to know our staff, if you don't already, and begin to ask them questions, partner with them, and collectively we'll work on this issue. Our goal today is to highlight the urgency of the crisis that is summer learning loss. And if you believe in research evidence, then you really will appreciate the fact that summer learning loss is a crisis. We also want to introduce the National Summer Learning Coalition, which is a newly created group of nearly 50 national organizations that have come together on this issue. You know, 10 years ago, I was teaching 4th grade in New York City, and I was explaining to my students that I was going to leave the next day to travel to a conference, a briefing like this one, on the issue of summer learning loss. And as I was talking, there's a little girl in the front row, a very quiet, shy girl, who was sort of shaking her head. She raised her hand, and when I called on her, she said, "Summer learning? Mr. Boulay, that is evil." And that's how most Americans think of summer learning and summer vacation. And while this is a policy issue, certainly has implications for funding, I think first and foremost, our inability to date to deal with summer learning loss collectively as a nation is really a failure of imagination. Kids may want a break from schooling during the summer, but they're not clamoring for a break from learning. Children are naturally curious. They want time with adults. They want to explore their interests. And the real opportunity of summers is to step away from the pressures of the school year and to create summer learning programs that engage children and do it in new and innovative ways that will then inform the school year. So that summer learning, summer programming, becomes an engine to drive school year reform. That's where we're headed. Ultimately, that's the big payoff. Many of you know the research around summer learning loss. I'm not going to repeat it in much detail. I think the panel will touch on it a little bit. Suffice it to say that most American students experience a slowdown or a loss in learning over the summer. It's more dramatic for lower income children. It's more dramatic for math. And the real impact is not that students might experience summer learning loss over one summer, but it's that continuum from kindergarten through 12th grade, where students are experiencing loss summer after summer after summer. I like to describe our school calendar as the most inefficient system for learning that we could possibly invent. We spend 9 months focusing on student learning and pouring tremendous amount of energy and creativity and resources, not to mention billions of dollars, into promoting student learning and student achievement. And by and large, we as a nation and our public schools are very successful in that period from September through May. And then we step away for 3 months. We walk away and we let that investment fizzle. We often talk about professional athletes. During the off season, they have a very different training regimen than during the season. They're not playing games and they might not be training every day, but they're not sitting on the couch eating ho-hos or playing video games. And just as professional athletes' skills can atrophy during the summer, students' knowledge can be lost or can atrophy. I should point out, new research points to the fact that what happens during summers for students is negative not just for learning and achievement, but has real implications for nutrition and health. Students who have access to free and reduced lunch program during the school year often don't have that during the summer. And our fear is, and the research suggests, that they may be substituting that healthy food during the school year with unhealthy food during the summer. The Food Research and Action Center, for example, found that of every 100 children, low-income children who ate free and reduced lunch over the school year, only 15 had access to those programs during the summer. I want to return very briefly to this idea of innovation. As schools, school districts face increasing pressure to improve student performance and resources dwindle, we need to think about the ways that summer learning, summer programs are a time away from the tests and the pressures of the school year that we can innovate, we can test new ideas, and we can drive school reform. We're going to talk a little bit today about a new study from the RAND Corporation, just released yesterday, which allows us to take the crisis of summer learning loss and turn it into an opportunity for summer learning programs. RAND reported something that many parents and teachers know, and that is that high-quality programs can effectively stem loss and promote learning. We've known for many years very conclusive ways about summer learning loss. It's great to have, through RAND's report, a definitive statement about the positive effect of summer programming. There's no excuse now not to act. We know that there's a serious problem. We know that there are serious, cost-effective, efficient solutions. It's time now at the local, state, and national levels to really engage on this issue.